I'm gonna get right to it.
Uncovering music by new and up and coming great artists.
And the Grammy goes to
The next big thing. This is Untouched Melodies.
Talk to him. Talk to him. Talk to him.
Well, you heard the intro. It is another Untouched Melodies. And just like every other episode, I have another amazing musician, artist, whatever you want to call him. His name is Tanner Southerland. And I mean, his music's amazing. So we're going to have fun chatting about that tonight. We are live. So anyone that has comments, questions, make sure you chime in. Fans, we're always looking for questions and stuff. So that's really cool. But Tanner, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Cool. It's exciting. We were just kind of chatting before we hit live, and I'm excited, dude. I've been listening to all your stuff, all your music. It is incredible. It goes
Appreciate
without
that.
saying, kind of, because you produce and you create, and you're in the music scene and all that stuff. But tell me how it all started, dude.
So like you mean just like music in general or like actually making music?
Yeah, just how you got into the music scene. Angela, thanks for tuning in.
So music really started for me, I'd say my senior year of high school. Like I always grew up loving music. Like ever since I was little, like when I'd be in the shower, I'd listen to music and I always found myself singing like random lyrics. Like I'd make up my own lyrics for like the instrumental parts of songs and stuff. And so I always like had a love for music, but my senior year of high school, I got sick and I played basketball and like I basically couldn't play anymore. So I decided I'm gonna teach myself piano and try to sing a little bit,
Oh
just like
wow.
for fun. And then I got to college and I met some buddies. They're like, you know, you can actually make music and like put it online. And I was like really? I was like, I thought like only like growing up, I was like, you have to be like Elvis Presley to have music online or something. So finding that out was pretty cool. And so I started making some really bad songs and putting out some really bad songs. But eventually, over time, with a lot of encouragement and people helping me along the way, we're here now and trying to make decent songs, I'd say.
I would disagree with you respectfully about the your early music. I think music in general, the creation of it is inspired by, so many different things in our lives, experiences and things like that. And, you know, um, I think the production of it obviously evolves, and you can hear
Yeah.
that through your stuff. But just you're incredible. Like it's just you have the audacity to come on live Instagram and just be like, "Hey guys, I'm writing a song. You want to help me out?" And it's just like, "Holy crap!" It's just crazy. How do you how do you find that confidence? Because you do that on a regular basis.
I don't know if confidence is the word. I guess you fake it till you make it, honestly. Honestly, like when it comes to music, confidence has been like my biggest struggle, I'd say.
Wow.
But I feel like I don't know, over the past summer especially, like I did my first show, got to like really just cement myself as an artist. I think I'm finally starting to believe in myself. And for me, it's like making music, I don't know, like when I'm in the studio writing, that's like the one time that my mind like shuts off and I feel like I'm just like myself. And so there's not really a pressure when I'm writing music, you know? So like I'm not really worried about like, oh, like what's gonna happen? I'm just gonna make something and we'll see what happens. It's good or bad, but at the end of the day, if I articulate how I'm feeling and it comes out, I feel better afterwards. It's kind of like a therapy
It's
almost.
it's amazing. It's pretty incredible what you do as far as that. But talking about your creative process, where does that all come from? Obviously experiences and things like that. If I went through each one of your songs, I'd be hunting down the girls that have broke your heart throughout the years. But just like where do you find most of your inspiration from?
I'd say like I don't know. I'm a pretty like emotional person in terms of like I feel stuff pretty deeply, but I don't know always how to articulate it like with words in the moment.
Mm,
So like for me, like when it comes to like making music, usually I'll start making like in the early days I'd find a beat online, but nowadays I make my own beats. But I'll like start making a beat or something and what like I'll just like I don't think like that feeling when you're about to cry
Mm-hmm.
and, like, you can just feel everything about to come out? I,
Yeah.
like I kinda naturally just let myself, let it all kinda build up right there, and then as I'm playing the music, I start hearing the melodies, and then lyrics kinda just flow with it. I don't usually know what I'm gonna talk about, but I know the feeling I have, and then I articulate it either in something that's very accurate to the feeling or something that isn't quite accurate to the feeling in terms of, like, it's not something that directly happened to me, but it's something that I feel and I can relate to, so I write about
It's incredible because listening to those songs, you think all these girls just broke your heart
it.
and left you and did all these awful, awful things. But to be fair, I think that's what's relatable about the music. It does sound so genuine. It does sound like you're writing from the heart. You're kind of speaking from experiences or
I've definitely
things
had a
that you've
couple
seen.
heartbreaks, that's for sure, but
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. I'm sure. Um, so we kind of talked a little bit earlier about this thing I like to do, which is Phil's top five, right?
Mhm.
And it always makes everyone on here laugh because, especially me, because their reactions are always great. But what I do is I go through your catalog and I find my five favorite songs. Now, obviously, your newest song is incredible. So I just want to
I appreciate
say
that.
before we ruin it for everyone, that's definitely in one of them. But I want to start with number five. And number five for me is Sold My Soul.
Okay.
And the reason I like it is just it's got something about it's just something different. I don't know what the production was, or how it came about, but you've collaborated with it looks like EML and Poodle. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a collab kind of song, but um it just sounds so good, man. It's just so good. It's like I'm sitting in the car and like on the way home, I was just kind of going through the tracks that I really, really liked and kind of trying to cement like it was the most difficult thing for me to find five songs, but your stuff is just so good that I was just like, oh man, sold myself. Every time it came on, I was just like, ah, leave it, leave it,
I really You wanna know the crazy thing about that song?
go on.
Like, that entire my entire part of that song was a freestyle.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It all just came out in one go, basically.
Oh wow, that's really really cool. I love that. That's actually even better. Now I love it even more. Brooke, thanks for tuning in. Yay is right. Tanner is on the show. Okay, so just to kick us off, we're going to let's make sure this is on the right. Yeah, here we go. There we go. Sometimes it connects to Bluetooth and sometimes it connects through my cord, and I have to make sure because last time Alexis was like, "Are we listening to my song or are we talking?" So "Sold My Soul," we're gonna do about a minute, I would say, of it because it takes a minute to get the full vibe. But here we go.
Yeah.
I think I sold my soul too many times. I'd do anything just to get you off my mind. Falling out of peace, I've been fighting just to save my life. I'd do anything just not to miss you tonight. Cause I don't know if I can take it. The love I have for you's now wasted. You took my heart and you encased it. Now my soul's lost and it's so jaded. I'm falling in and out of my own mind. Ever since you left me on that night. Cause you made me fall, but you weren't there to catch me. I gave my all, but you went and betrayed me. I risked it all just for you to tell me that you never felt a thing. Lately I feel like I'm falling out of love with you. Only know because you never wanna give your all. Your all. You gave me nothing but
It's so hard to turn it down. Like I want to just keep listening. It's just so good. Like
I haven't listened to that in a long time.
it's so good though, dude. The production of it, everything, and Who like these guys, I don't know who they are, but they you all complement each other. Like it's just beautiful synergy making music.
Thank you.
It's really, really good. Like really,
Yeah, it
really
came
good.
together. It was crazy because I've never met either of them in person. I just met
Okay.
him on social media, and I was like, "Bro, I like your music. I'd love to have you on this song." Sent it to EML. He threw the verse on, and then I sent it to Poodle, and he threw a verse on, and it came together. And I was like, "Wow, I like that."
So, yeah, it's just I love it. I can listen to it all day. I can go all night with this thing, but yeah, it's a great song. So tell me about the production of that. Like how did it all come about? Like was this just the collaboration? You didn't even meet the guys before? Like what's going on?
Yeah, so, I actually made that beat with my one of my buddies in college. I was just sitting in my dorm room. I found that guitar loop, and I freestyled that whole like, the whole vocal to it, and then I added, like, a drum line to it. And then my buddy added some bass to it, and then I sent it off to EML and to Poodle. They got it back to me, and then I got finished up, and rest is history. It was a quick
That's
one. It was a quick one in terms of, like, sometimes, like, songs take a little bit idea-wise, but this one was just, like, I was feeling it that day emotionally. I was just like, "You know what? I'm a we'll see what happens," and it just came out.
I love it. I love it. And it's a great beat. Like when the beat kicks in properly, you're just like, "Oh yeah, let's give it a it's a head bopper, you know what I mean?"
Yeah, I
It's
kinda
just one of those.
after that song's when I kinda fell in love with, like, making music that kinda I'd say borderline, like, on the vibe of dance music in terms of, like, it's got something that you can really,
Mm,
like, just feel and, like, groove with.
right, right, right. Well, moving on. So in the creative world that you're in, like who would you say is your inspiration for like musically speaking? Who would you say inspires you the most?
Current or just, like,
Just in general. I mean,
in general?
your music's everywhere. So this is the interesting part because like you said you do a little bit of rap, you do a bit of ballads, like there's everything there. So who really inspires you?
Well, I grew up listening to like, my favorite artist of all time is Frank Sinatra. 'Cause
Perfect.
grew up with that. My grandma's brother, um, me and him shared a real affinity for Frank Sinatra, so I really grew up loving Frank Sinatra. Love, like, any music, like, Nat King Cole, Dean's Dean Martin, like, all those people, love their music.
Yep.
And, little, like, more current, I love Boyz II Men, like, their music, which I feel like you can I don't know, I feel like that's where I get my emotion from. And then I love country music too. Like, which a lot of people, like, say sometimes my lyrics are really country or, like, you should make these country songs. Someone was telling me I should change "Here to Stay" to a country song, and I
Mm.
was like, maybe," but,
Well,
um
you have the ability to do that. You see, that's the cool thing about creating
yeah,
is you can strip it down, make it an acoustic version or whatever, and that's cool. I mean, it's good to hear from people and say, "Oh yeah, this would be great." You know, like I've listened to artists recreate Britney Spears songs and then
oh, yeah,
completely do it with acoustic, and it's a guy singing it, and it's just such a different vibe. Everything's different about it, so anything's possible. So I mean,
yeah, I did that this year with, "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas," actually, by Frank Sinatra.
mm,
I put my own little pop dance twist on that one as well, but, yeah, going back to inspirations, I'd say Frank Sinatra, Boyz II Men. Growing up, I love Rascal Flatts.
there you
Um,
go.
more current, like Justin Bieber, The Kid Laroi. He's like a mix between pop and I'd say like rap, and I really love like his ability to like his pen and stuff.
Right.
But I'm all over the place, man. I'll listen to anything. It
Well,
doesn't matter. If it makes me feel something, it's on the
and
playlist.
that's kind of how I am. That's why I'm doing this. Because I love a lot of different types of music, you know, heavy metal, you know, like just indie, you know, whatever it is, it's like you said, it's a vibe. Like you're in the
Mhm.
car, if you've had a crappy day at work, you know, sometimes it's rap, you know, sometimes it's
Yeah.
angry heavy metal, whatever it is, it fits a mood, and it's pretty unique artistry that comes out of of whatever is created because I've been listening to Alexis's music from last week, your
Mhm.
music, going back, you can listen to so many different types of artists, and consistency is not there because it's all unique. That's what's great about it is
Yeah,
your version of the song is your version of the song. And
yeah.
that's, if you watch all these talent shows, that's what they're looking for now is authentic. It's
Mhm.
their tagline for everything now. It needs to be authentic. So
Yeah.
I feel like you have that.
I really appreciate it.
The next one, you're
Oh,
gonna
oh no, fingers crossed.
the next one is kind of out of the fit. This is the tougher one for me to decide because there's like three that I really really like that I was debating on, but I think like him,
Oh, okay.
it's just a little bit different. I can't quite put my finger on why it's different, but it connects. It's just one of those you're kind of telling a story. Like it's just really really good. So I'm gonna play about a minute of that, and then
That's a
we'll see
short
where.
song too. That's like half the song.
Yeah, is it? Yeah, it kind of is actually. But it's still great. So I'm gonna
I
go with that.
appreciate it.
I know that I can't hold you like him, but I would never leave like he did. But you don't seem to want what I can give. I give my life just so that you could live. And here I am, I'm standing with my heart to give. It's all that I am, but you don't seem to want it. But I'm done waiting, I can't take it no more. So please just tell me if I should take the door. 'Cause I'm getting tired of checking my phone, praying that maybe you would feel alone. Just so you would call to tell me that you miss me one more time.
There's like 30 seconds left of it, but I'm gonna cut it there because that line, that last bit that I cut off as I finished, um, just I'm tired of sitting here looking at my phone, hoping that you're
Mhm.
like it's just so like oh my god, what a lyric! It is
Thank
just
you.
perfect. It's just the whole point of this song and just the feeling of the song is very like unrequited love. It's like I've been
Yeah,
waiting
this
for long
this
enough. You keep
this one was a real story.
messing around with some other dude, and I'm tired of waiting for you. And it's just such a good song. I mean, yeah, it's short, but songs don't have to be 5 minutes long.
Yeah. I
In
said
fact,
everything I needed to say.
yeah, exactly. It's just it's perfect. Um, so that's number four for me. And
Wow.
shockingly enough, that was number four for me because you have some really good stuff, and it was really hard for me to pick the ones that I wanted to do. But that was number four. So, like for you, like what's the goal? Like, what are you trying to create? I mean, I understand that you kind of put yourself out there. You're wearing your heart on your sleeve pretty
Mhm.
much, and it's kind of like is fame and fortune kind of what you're aiming for? Or are you just creating to because you just love creating?
I mean, I don't really wanna be famous. I want I want to be able to do music the rest of my life and not have to and be able to provide for my future family and stuff like that. But
Mm,
no, I don't need to be famous. I just for me, if money didn't matter, if I didn't make any money, I'd make music still in a heartbeat. Like it's always been like a passion of mine and it's always something that I'll pursue no matter whether it's fruitful or not. But for me, it's like I know that, like, when I was, like, a kid and in high school and stuff, like, I just remember the ability to listen to a song and feel seen when a lot of times I'd go throughout my day and, like, not feel seen or feel alone.
Mm.
And so for me, as someone like I battled a lot of like depression and stuff like growing up and like went through a lot of different things in my life. And I feel like music's a way that I've been gifted by God to be able to be like be the person that I needed when I was a kid. Be
Mm.
like maybe I'm not gonna know a person like in my life, but I can make a song that's some random person in a different country or in a different state might hear, and they feel like someone understands what they're going through and sees them. And so that's why I try to write as authentically as possible. And like, yeah, every once in a while I'll make a song that's just kind of like, I was making it for fun, for a vibe, which I'm dropping one of those next Friday. It's not the most heartfelt, but the majority of the time I'm writing from my heart and I'm expressing like real emotions and real feelings and real pain and real joy, stuff like that. Cause I want someone listening that was in my shoes when I was, like, a kid to feel like they're not alone.
That's awesome. And honestly, it's kind of what I say almost every episode. It's going to become one of my taglines eventually. It's, you know, for every single song that's made, it is something different to everybody.
Yeah.
It's attached to something. It's a memory. It could be the song that you broke up to. It could be the song
Yeah,
that you lost your virginity to. It could be anything. It's just
yeah.
all these different experiences can be attached to one song. You know,
It's like a time
my
capsule.
yeah, it is. It's a time capsule. My grandmother was cremated to Whitney Houston, "I Will Always Love You." And so that song is
That's a
forever
different
ruined for me because every time I hear it, it just it's cringe where it's like I want to
it's got
enjoy
a
it,
you
but
have an
then
association to it.
yeah, it's just like there. And then Ed Sheeran, we walked down the aisle to one of his tracks. So I'm just
Gotcha.
like, okay, so there you go. It's just there's different strokes for different folks. It's just how it
Yeah.
works.
That's the
Um,
beauty of it too, I think, is it's like I think that's the beauty and also the curse of, like, music is so subjective, and
yeah,
it's like, you never know what people are gonna think until you put it out there, and there's gonna be some people like you said you love my new song. Someone on TikTok said it was trash. So, like, it's all subjective and everyone has their own opinions and own associations, but that's the beauty of
mm,
it. Like music can touch people and music I feel like music's like a way that people can like tangibly like hold on to memories. And like you
yeah,
see that they see that a lot with like Alzheimer's patients is they use music and they'll play music from like the time period that they were like young and it brings back memories and stuff.
yeah. It's crazy. It's pretty incredible, and that's very true. Music is used for treating so many different things, and depression is one of them. Alzheimer's is one of them. Um, and it's kind of it's just it makes it more powerful.
Yeah.
It's just I mean, I'm not inspired by what's top of the charts lately, but
Yeah.
it's that's why my tag whenever I bring great artists like you on is it's always hashtag music's not dead. It's because
Yeah.
you want I mean, we all I don't know if you watch the Super Bowl, but poor old Usher, he's looking a little rigid there. He's not moving as he's not as limber as he once was, but he's still
Yeah.
able to sing, you know what I mean? So it's like that's the stuff that I grew up with is like
Same. I
Usher and all
love
that kind of stuff.
Usher.
So like it I guess it's just subjective.
Mhm.
What I hate is when people do a cover and they don't recognize the original artist and you're just like, "No kids, that was done by someone else."
Yeah.
And it was way better, trust me. But yeah, so as we move through the next song, so we're going to number 3 and this is more your current stuff. So the one that is number 3 is Here to Stay.
Okay.
Okay, so Here to Stay I love because you kind of brought back old style into new
Yeah.
style. I just love it. It's like and you did you did that as well because the cover of the track is very like 80s, very
Yeah.
80s. It's like I'm watching an 80s movie. At the beginning of this, I'm like, "Ooh, it's Beverly Hills Cop. Where's it on? Where's it on?" It's
Yeah.
just really really good. So I'm going to play a little bit of that and see what people think of that and then we'll come back.
Awesome.
I had to get the chorus in. It's like you don't hear the song, you don't hear the chorus. It's not the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great track. I want to know what inspired that because, for me, I'm just sitting there going, he was watching like an '80s movie. He thought that was a cool piano. Like, how did that come about?
Well, I've been I love 80s music, and I th I don't know. We just started making the beat, and, like, we found, like, that 80s vibe sound, and we're like, "Yeah, that's something cool." But like, I listened to Tory Lanez, he's, like, a rapper, but he also sings, and he made, like, a super, like it's called, like, Alone at Prom, I think, but it was, like, super modernized version of '80s music, basically, and I love that, so I wanted
Mm.
to try to make something in my own avenue that like, was an homage to the '80s, but modern as well. But in terms of, like, the lyrics and, like, the song itself, I kinda wrote it as, like, a letter to my girlfriend, actually.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so it's like the concept of it is, like, when for my girlfriend or for when people in general is like oftentimes like sometimes we get in our heads and we overthink things and stuff. And I just want like the idea of the song is like no matter what's going on, no matter how far you are away, whatever, I'm here to stay. So like you don't have to overthink because you'll know at the end of the day I'm here to stay.
It's a great concept, and I mean, lucky her having a guy that's gonna write a song for her. I mean, I hear this all the time. Like, like it's crazy to me. Like that is immortalized. That is out there forever as the song you wrote for your girlfriend on Spotify. Like,
Yeah.
it's not necessarily called for my girlfriend, but it is out there forever. Like, and that's what's cool is in 20 years time, no matter what you're doing, you're going to be able to come back and go, and again, why I enjoy going through this is you're going to go back and go, look what I did when I was doing this. Like this is, and you're going to be, man, you're either going to be embarrassed, you're going to be proud, or you're going to be just like, I've come so far since then. It's just,
I hope that's the answer. Come so far. 20 years from now, I will still be doing this, God willing, and let's hope I've improved a lot since then, 'cause you can only keep going up, I think.
I feel it and I hear it in your music that you keep going up. So I know that's going to happen. Um, so you talk about playing music forever. What's the dream? Where would you like to play? Like, where is the venue that you just want to be like, that's it for me. I've hit it. I've made it when I play here.
That's a good question. I don't know. To be honest, like I've always been shy and I don't like performing. I didn't perform until this summer for the first time, but I'm starting to get used to the idea. I've done it a couple times now. I kind of enjoy it. If I feel like it'd be easier to perform to a big audience versus, like, a little one. I think because like, little ones are so intimate, it's like you look out and you're like, "Oh, I see that person's face. I can see their eye
Yeah, yeah,
color."
yeah.
It's like, "Oh, no," versus, like, you just see a sea of people. I think that's the dream one day would be incredible to, like, just be singing my songs to, like, an arena or
Yeah.
at, like, just, like, a big stadium and, like, having people sing back word for word. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, no, that's it's always a great atmosphere when you're at those concerts as well. When they put the mic out and they're just like, wow, they know the
Yeah.
whole song. It's really, really cool. So I mean, who knows, man? It could be the next song. The next song could be a cult song that follows you forever. You know what I mean? So and that's
Yeah.
it's the truth. It's what could happen. So where we're at, we're at three. Two, oh boy. Two was tough
Oh, no.
because two was between your top listened to song on Spotify, which, in case you don't know, is Nothing Better. Um, that's what it's called. I'm not dissing his music or anything. It's called Nothing Better. But I actually had to go for Last Piece of Me, which is really recent.
Mm. For number
And
2?
yeah, it's just, dude, like you just I don't know how you do it. Like it's just I think I like it because I'm attached to it because I was watching your live when you were doing this, I think.
Yeah,
Because
back
I
in
read
July.
yeah, I'm just like, dude. that's what I love about doing this is I found your music organically. It wasn't because of anything or any affiliation. It just so happens that you know Alexis, but it's like i- I found you doing a live, and I remember this was the song that I literally tuned in,
Yeah.
and you were just doing this, and I was like, "Oh, this guy's cool," and you're responding to people, leaving comments and stuff, and I was like, yeah, I like this guy. All right, I'm gonna listen to his music. And this song came out, and I was like, oh shit, that's the one he made. Oh my gosh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So,
I've been sitting on this one for a while.
and so what kind of inspired that one?
Um, I'm trying to put myself back in that mindset. I think you mean, like, musically or, like, lyrically, like, topically?
I would say topically, I'd say that's where it's kind of a breakup song a little bit, but I
Yeah.
mean,
I mean, I wasn't really going through a breakup, to be honest. I had, like, been talking to someone, like, when I was in college, and it kinda, like I don't know, it kinda, like, was going good, and all of a sudden, they hit you with the ghost, and you're like, that stinks."
yeah,
But so, like, I think the initial concept came from that, but I don't know, I think I was listening to a lot of Louis Capaldi at that time, and his music just makes me sad and,
oh,
like,
he's so
makes
good though, dude.
yeah, and so I guess I was listening to that, and it kinda brought up some feelings from the past. I was like, "Okay." Like, yeah, I guess I'm still not completely over that, I'm gonna write a song about it. And
Cool.
so, that first line is like, "I know you don't trust me," and then it's kinda I kinda feel bad for the line, like, maybe it's because you hate yourself that you can't love me. I don't think I meant it in the way that, like, "Oh, it's because, like, I'm so good to love," but it was more like the concept of, like, I know the love I can give, and I guess, like, this person just, um, they're at a point where they can't, like, allow themselves to, like, have good things. Like, like, when some people are so
Yeah,
hurt, they're afraid of good things?
yeah,
So it's
once bitten,
kinda
twice
that,
shy
it's
kind of thing. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, it was kinda that concept, and then I was like, I tend to give my all to people and, like,
yeah.
trust blindly, and so, at that time, it kinda felt like the last piece of me, like, I'd given myself away the last time, and luckily, that
Cool.
wasn't true because now I'm doing great, and I love my
Yeah, you're
girlfriend,
good now. You've
so
moved on, but
I'm doing great, moved on, I'm in love, so it's all good.
that's yeah, that's all that matters, right? But so we're gonna go to the last piece of me. While I'm gonna drop a question in because this is always a thinker, and I last time poor poor Alexis was like, "Oh God, I'm gonna need to think about this." So I'm gonna do this strategically. If you could pick anybody to collaborate with currently, like that's still
Mhm.
around, right?
Yeah,
Who would it be? And I'll
okay.
I'll come back to you. All right, here we go.
I know you don't trust me. Maybe it's 'cause you hate yourself, you can't love me. Now you try to get me through hell, but I don't know what else that I can do. And I hate myself for loving you. And it looks like it's ending now. I'm waiting to plant my feet back on the solid ground, but I just keep on falling faster. You stole the last piece of me. I just don't know how to breathe. What is it that's left for me? You stole the last piece of me.
I love that song mainly because you're talking about something sad, but it is like you're bopping your head. I'm like, yeah, it's like screw her, whatever.
You know you
It's just so cool.
The funny part behind that is, like, the week before I wrote that song, like, I was talking with, my buddies at the studio, Seth and Brady, and they're like we're just, like, trying to figure out, like, how we can, like, grow as artists and stuff, and they're like, "Bro, to be honest, like, every song you make sad," and they're all sad. And they're like, "Bro, like, no one's gonna bop their heads to sad songs." And I was like,
Challenge
He's
accepted.
got a point, but I think I can make it work. And
You
so
did though. I
so
mean,
it started off, like, sad, like, without the drums and without, like, the synths and, like and I was like, "You know what? Maybe I'll try EDM song, kind of." It's a little I'd say it's a little touch of
yeah, a little
EDM,
bit, a little bit, a little
but it
bit.
just
But
came
your
alive.
melody's amazing, dude. I mean, the fact, like, just the piano and everything that you do is just so good. I mean, I don't know where you get your ideas from. What, like, if you're just going down the street and then kind of singing in your head, and then all of a sudden, that's a good, and you're just like, it's just crazy. It's amazing to me what you can create. It's just really, really cool.
Thank you.
The beginning of that, all I'm thinking is, "Ooh, this is gonna be good." I'm just like, it's just, when the guitar, or you can tell, like, the beginning of a song is like, "Ooh, they're on it today. There's creatively, they're ready to go." Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a good start. So okay,
Thank
coming back to that song, or that question.
question, yeah.
Let's see what your answer is. It's always interesting.
Am I allowed to have a couple or just
Yeah, of
one?
course. Yeah, go for it.
Can I give a top, like, 3 or 5?
Yeah, sure.
It's
There's
hard.
no rules. There's no rules.
Okay, no rules, unscripted, exactly.
Yeah.
I'd say top 5 in terms of, like, secular music would be Justin Bieber, The Kid Laroi, Jake, and then potentially, Laney, if you've ever heard of that band.
Yeah, yeah,
I love their music. If I was doing not, like, Christian music, 'cause I dabble in Christian music as well,
yeah.
I'd say probably, um, Carrie Job or, like, Maverick City or something like that.
All right. Okay. Cool. Let's hope they're all listening, because you
I
know,
never know, never know.
you never know. We were just talking about how, like, thank you to everybody who watches and tunes in and continues to watch. Like, my followers literally grew from like 400 or 500 to 4,500 in like 9 days. So,
Teach me.
yeah, yeah, right. It's like, I don't even know what I did, but I appreciate all of you for tuning in. But
I think
yeah,
people are starving for authenticity nowadays, so
it's true. I agree with you 100%. It's one of those things that you're just kind of, I did this because I love music, and I hate seeing great artists who are just kind of lost in this abyss of
yeah.
Spotify or Apple
There's
Music
so
or
much
whatever.
there's so much music out there. It's just so saturated because technology's made it so easy.
Yeah, and you talked about, you mentioned it earlier, and I never brought it up, but like, somebody said that that song, or your newest song,
Oh,
was
yeah,
what, on TikTok?
yeah.
What was the comment? It's oh, it's garbage, man.
I don't know, it was like they said what did they say? They're like offbeat and trash. I was like
Offbeat and trash, because they own a record label. They know what they're talking about. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah,
everyone's
unfortunately,
entitled to their opinion, though. I don't take it personally.
right. It's I did stand up comedy for about 7 years,
Oh,
and
really?
you can, these amazing comedians out there right now, um, that they go to rooms, and people come to see them, so they know the humor, they know what they're coming into.
Yeah,
But when they started out, I mean, I've watched documentary after documentary. You have these days where you're just like,
hecklers.
nothing, like 4 or 5 people laughing. You can get a chuckle here and there, but gradually that grows because you get more followers.
Yeah, I think that's the hard sorry to interrupt your thought,
Yeah,
but just, like, I think that's the hard thing about, like, the day and age we live in with social media is people are like sheep. They're followers nowadays, and, like, if like, Drake drops a new song, "Oh, I like it because it's Drake." They don't even have to hear it, but since I don't have, like, 100,000 followers, people are gonna be really critical and, like, not as open to hearing
right.
people nowadays are so scared to have an opinion that until someone else likes it and until they see it's cool to like, people are not really on board, which is
Yeah,
difficult.
it's a little bit of that, but also the social media takes the filter away. So
True,
you
yeah,
now it's like they can be opinionated all they want. What's going to happen?
yeah.
You know, Like saying something like that on TikTok, there's no repercussion because you're hardly going to go, all right, oh really, okay, cool, let's go outside. It's like it's never going to happen because that doesn't happen. But they're
Yeah.
entitled to their own opinion. And you know what? When you're a multi-platinum award-winning artist, you can go back to that post and just be like, whatever, dude.
I highly doubt I'd be thinking about that if I was.
You say that, but Dane Cook, God, I don't even know. He's out touring again, but he pulled up a letter that someone just dissed him really bad right after his parents passed away, and then
Oh man.
years later, he gets another letter. I think it's an email. Sorry, it's an email.
Hmm.
Either way, this guy comes back and he goes, "Oh, apologize. I'm sorry. I said all these mean things about, he said the words, your parents probably died on purpose to get away from your shitty comedy or something."
Oh man,
And it was cold. It was really, really cold.
that's
But
terrible.
like he comes back and he's apologizing, and then Dane Cook's obviously made it into a funny bit, and he says whatever.
Yeah.
But you remember these moments because they're things that affect you in the moment. Like
Yeah.
you're going to remember these people that make comments that are negative on Facebook the same way you're going to remember the ones that egg you on because it's what keeps you going, So that love and affection that you get from people is going to feed the animal that wants to make more music. But these guys that diss you are just going to egg you on even more to prove them wrong almost. So
I mean,
kinda
to an extent, honestly, it doesn't really. I just make it because I love it. Like, if someone likes the song, amazing. But at the end of the day, I'm proud of what I made, and then it doesn't matter if other people like it or not. I hope people do. I hope they relate to it. But at the end of the day, it's like I'm creating to express something, and if people are touched by it in the process, amazing. But at the end of the day, the fact I was able to express and articulate that feeling into the song is already the win in itself.
yeah, cool. Well, hey, if you're in search of confidence, you got it right now, dude. I mean, that's awesome.
I'm
So-
trying. I'm trying.
So the theme of this is kind of the title of your track for the next one. Number one is your newest one. It's called Up All Night, which is what you're doing for me. So I appreciate you, sir.
Of course, I appreciate the opportunity.
It is so good. Like, we talked about evolution and hearing the music just get better and better and better. And I just feel like that's what's happening with you every time you put something out now. It's like,
Thank you.
and I went through your catalog of music from start to finish. And even though you dissed your early stuff, you did diss it or whatever. I mean, it's all good music, but you can hear the creative process and the production and everything improve as you go.
Yeah.
So it's really impressive. So, because we've stayed up all night, it's only appropriate. The best song of the night is Up All Night, and this is your newest track. So let's
Yep.
give it a listen.
Awesome.
Oh, hold on. It's fading in from the other one, so that
Oh.
didn't work very well. I was like,
No,
that doesn't sound right. There we go.
I just lay awake up all night till you come over. I need you now more than I know I should. And I know it's getting late. Don't take your time, please come over. I need to hold you in my warm embrace. Girl, you're like daylight savings. The sun's away when you're not there. I'm suffocating. It's hard to breathe when there's nowhere. So tell me now, do you miss me when I'm not around, not around? 'Cause you have my heart when we're miles apart. And I can't sleep till you're in my arms. So I just
Dude, like I feel like we need to applaud that song. Like it's just so good. Like
I appreciate it.
it is really, really, really good. And I don't know what else to say other than like it's just evolution in music. I can hear it throughout the whole song. I can hear just what it's about. Everything about the idea of it is like it's about wanting and missing your girl, and it's just crazy to me. Like I just love it. So it's and
Thank you.
and a lot of this, and I go back to this a lot with you because you do go on lives and you do go on Instagram and you are creative on Instagram and you're really writing the song with your people, which is just incredible to me. But that's kind of, I don't know. It's just you can feel that you can feel it throughout the whole song, and it's just like because I've been watching your lives, it's like, damn, I saw him create that. It's like I saw Picasso make the painting.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy to me. Like, tell me about tell me about your version of what this song is, and rather than me telling everybody.
No, here good. So I wrote this song actually. Usually I'm in the studio like writing the song, but like I had COVID actually in January, so I couldn't see my girlfriend and I couldn't go to the studio. So I was like stuck at home or driving around in my car to not lose like my mind. But I wrote the lyrics at home, and then I went and made the beat at the studio once I didn't have COVID anymore and just recorded it. But I just kind of wrote it about, yeah, I figured like I was in quarantine, I was missing my girlfriend, and I was like, I'm sure there's a lot of people that relate to the feeling of like tossing and turning when you miss someone. And so I was like, I feel like a lot of people can, whether you're like a married couple and your husband or wife's on a trip and it's just like the bed doesn't feel the same without them, or just like stuff like that. So I just tried to channel that emotion of like being in quarantine, missing my girlfriend, missing work, and then just make it in a way that people could relate to in terms of making it vague enough that it wasn't like overly specific.
It's great, dude. Congratulations. It's something to be proud of. I mean, all your music is something to be proud of, but I
Hey,
just this new one is definitely a new piece of you, and I think you can only kick on from there. So tell me what's next for Tanner. Like, what are we doing now?
well, I mean, I'm in the studio like every day making
Yeah, I
I
see you
I'm
in the studio every day because you're on live most of the
yeah,
time. So
I'm sitting on like hundreds of songs to be honest. Next Friday I'm dropping a song with, I don't know if you've seen my friend Brady, but he goes by Slud. We're dropping a rap song actually called So For Real, which I it was one of those days where I was just like I didn't feel like getting in my feels, and Brady's like, you should just make something different, just let go, let loose. And so I just made like a rap song.
it's cool. Yeah, I just made a rap song. Whatever.
I mean, we'll see. I'm kind of nervous to be honest. I don't know if it's gonna sound like authentic enough. Like I don't. We'll see. We'll see if people like it or not. But it was fun to make, so that's all that matters. But we got that one dropping. Got a lot on the way. I got one called Alaska that's dropping like 2 weeks after So For Real, which is one I did with my buddy, who I've never collabed with before, but he's an amazing producer and like artist. And that one I wrote about my girlfriend flying to Alaska, but it's not so like it's weird. We
You're
got
just doing everything. So what do you do in your free time? What does Tanner do when he's not making music or working?
um music. I mean, honestly, all I really do is I'd say I spend time with my first thing I do every day is spend time with God. That's my number one. Then after that, it's studio, then gym. I'm a big fitness guy. I love working out. It's always just it's a great mental thing, gives me a break. I also get a lot of my ideas when I'm at the gym because I think just all the blood flowing gets the brain
Yeah,
working
for sure.
maybe. But yeah, just gym. That's one of my big passions. And then spending time with my family and my girlfriend, and obviously just going back to the studio.
Yeah.
I
Well,
can't really
okay.
be away from it very long.
Yeah, I mean it's a passion. I love that, and I love the fact that you you recognize your faith and everything. It's genuine and authentic, and it's what people are looking for now, and it's something to be proud of. So,
Thank you.
thank you so much for coming on the show, my friend. You've inspired many, and your music's incredible. So I look
I
forward to
appreciate
hearing the
that a
rap
lot.
song, no matter how no matter how bad you may think it is. I'm still looking forward to the song.
I appreciate it.
And of course, tell everyone who's watching how to follow you on Instagram or your tag or find more music.
So yeah, you can follow me on all platforms. Just any music platforms, just Tanner Southerland. You can see my name on the screen, how it's spelled, Southerland. On Instagram is just my name. On TikTok, it's just Tanner Sutherland Music. And yeah, if you just type that in, I've dropped enough songs by now that I should come up.
Yeah, no, he does. Because I follow you on Instagram, and I was trying to find you to see if you had a Facebook account, but you didn't. So I was just like, oh crap, okay, I guess I gotta go on Instagram.
I used
But
to have a Facebook and then I deleted it. I kind of had it for like a couple months and I was just like, I can't do both. It's too much
I
work.
feel like now I need to follow you on TikTok just to give you positive vibes on TikTok as well. You know what I mean?
Hey, I post a lot of different content on there than I do face or do Instagram. Instagram's more like the professional content, the pictures. TikTok's more behind the scenes, like my daily life. Like follow me along as I'm going to spend time with my girlfriend, as I'm going to the studio, or it's my real like as authentic as I can be.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. My wife, thank you for watching, my dear. She's at work. Get back to work, you. Um,
Oh, thank you.
I just started following Tanner a few days ago. Oh, that's cool. All right.
Thank you
Well,
so much.
there you go. We're gonna grow some followers for you. It's important to grow the followers, as I've discovered. But just just by accident. What's your favorite song? Actually, before we finish up, what's your favorite song that you created?
Hmm.
You said you don't like any of your tracks, but that's not fair. Like, what is the song that you're most proud of?
Can I check my phone real quick to
Yeah,
check
go for
the
it.
it's an unreleased one, I think.
Oh, is it?
Potentially. I made this song called yeah, it's probably that one right now. I made a song called Perfect Design. It's gonna be on this little like worship EP I'm gonna drop. Not
Cool.
not worship in the sense of like slow ballads, but it's gonna be like my take on it, like pop, like R&B, hip hop kind of songs. But it's a song that I wrote kind of for people that like struggle with like suicidal thoughts and depression and stuff. And the concept of it is basically that like God made them by perfect design and like that you're enough just the way you are.
What a
And
great
so
idea.
yeah, it kind of came together. I've had a couple people reach out to me on social media. I guess I don't know, they feel like they relate to me and they've told me about their struggles with different like mental health stuff, and I've just tried to listen to them, and I just wanted to articulate how much like I care for them as a human being and how much I know God cares for them. And so I wrote the song and it just kind of came out. But like I actually cried when I wrote it. I was like crying as I wrote it because it just felt like everything was just I don't know, it hits home for
Yeah,
sure.
well, now you got our house now follows you, so you can see the comment there. Obviously, we need more of that. Release it. Yes, I agree 100%. So I look forward to that. Like, let's get that out quick.
I'm it's so hard. It's so hard to decide. I'm still sitting on songs from literally like last July still.
Oh, dude. All
Yeah.
right. Well, you have enough music to go with now at this stage, so that's good. That's good.
Unfortunately, yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being part of the show. I'm honored and privileged to be able to play your music live on the show, and I hope that people tune in and follow you more and listen to your new tracks. And hopefully, you know, next time we talk, you're gonna be like, "Hey, I'm going to this award show, or I'm gonna be playing in Portland or Vancouver, Washington." Like, let's do
Yeah,
that more.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
I'd definitely love to be on the show again. It was a privilege to be on it this time.
Well,
I appreciate it a lot.
I appreciate you, sir. So Once again, this has been another Untouched Melodies. We'll be back again next week with another amazing artist. Who knows? It could be someone you already following on Instagram and TikTok and Spotify. But until then, be safe, enjoy the music, and we'll talk to you again soon.
This is brought to you by Unscripted Productions. Thanks for being a part of the journey, and be sure to follow us for more info to get new episodes and more great content. And of course, rate this show on your favorite podcast listening platform and leave us a 5-star review. See you here next time.